Welcome everyone. My name's Anthony if it's your first time to the channel, and today we're going to go over the intro for Night Train by Guns N' Roses. So this is a great first intro to learn, or if you're just starting to learn guitar to get into playing some rock songs. It's an awesome intro, like a lot of their stuff. Guns N' Roses, they're just amazing, awesome. I have a lot of intros on here because I love them so much. They're awesome. That's one of the bands that I learned a lot with when I first started. So, and gradually built up to playing their solos and all that stuff. They also have a lot of great riffs if you want to learn some stuff to play, like with a band or friends if you're playing with friends. So this is a lot of double stops and triads, so like 3 notes on 3 different strings. And in the beginning, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to play with distortion on because that's the way it's played, so you can hear how it actually sounds, but you can practice it clean to make sure you're hitting everything. That's usually the best way, the easiest way to do it. So just like everything that I show you on here, remember the most important thing, in my opinion, is cleanliness. So try to play cleanly, right? Try to get it clean because, for example, it can sound really sloppy, especially on distortion. You hear it better when you're playing clean, if the sound is clean or not, but you can hear the difference when you hear someone playing it very crisp and very clean, and someone who plays it a little sloppily, right? So like you hit more strings than you're supposed to, right? But if you really hit the strings that you're trying to hit, like, it sounds crisp. You know, real crisp. So try to go for that. Try to make sure you're just sounding the strings and notes that you want to sound for the song, okay? So keeping that in mind, let's get into it. He starts off with two strokes on the muted A string, the 5th string open. So the 5th string is open and you just go down, up. But he does it quick. And then the 3rd time he goes down, he hits an A chord. And it's just like the power chord. Remember, with all of this like rock stuff, when you're playing distortion, it sounds a lot better usually, unless you're talking about like AC/DC or these kind of bands that use the whole chords. And like Guns N' Roses especially, Slash, it sounds really heavy and strong when you emphasize the power chord. I try to do just the top 2 strings, so the 2nd fret, you know, in a basic A, which we've probably gone over already, but just so you know, it's a 2nd fret on the 4th and 3rd string, and the 5th string stays open. And so you go down, up, muted. So muted, I have a tutorial in here on muting if you're not familiar, but you just place the meaty part of your pinky side of your hand over the strings to stop it. So it goes. So down, up with the muting, and then down on the power chord. Then the drums come in, okay? So, but this is about the speed of the real song. Right? Then he slides up all the way to the 7th fret. So I usually just bar the 7th fret with my finger. It doesn't matter because you're only playing 1 note. So you can bar it. Bar the 7th fret with your 1st finger on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. You can do it that way. Or you can just put your 1st finger on the 7th fret on the 3rd string. That's the note you're playing anyway. Okay? I find it's easier to help mute the other strings if you lay your finger across and you can touch the bottom string so it doesn't sound, and you can touch the 5th string so that doesn't sound. Right? So you can help mute the strings. This is something very important playing distortion. You'll see any really strong distortion players, like people with really high distortion. A great example is Zakk Wylde. So much distortion on that thing all the time, but he's so clean. He plays so clean. And this is really important for that because you'll get squealing, you'll get feedback, you'll get other sounds and harmonics and things like that, unwanted sounds, if you don't mute all the other strings that you're not trying to play, okay? Or unless you pick really accurately with your right hand, all right? So either one of those. So second finger goes, so first finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, the second finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, and the third finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string. And that's the first chord. And you hit that twice. And then you take your 2nd and 3rd finger off and just play the barred 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings with your 1st finger on the 7th fret. And you're still trying to mute that 1st string and 5th string unless you're just not going to hit them at all with this pick. So, okay? So 2 on the first chord, 2 on the 7th, the barred 7th fret. So just like that. And then you slide down to the 5th fret. And same thing, it's still barred with the 1st finger, right? Really, really good basic intro. It's not too bad, not too complicated. So you just bar the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings again, but on the 5th fret. So 2, 2, 1. Okay, so that's the first part. So let's go over that whole part again just so you see. So mute, mute, A. And then second part, you just bring your 3rd finger to come down and bar that 5th fret again on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fret. So same kind of strumming. So 2 strokes. Okay. So 2 strokes on the 5th fret. The next chord is 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and the 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string. And you're trying to mute the 1st string with your 1st finger, the meat part of your 1st finger, the meaty part, and then touch the tip of the 5th string with the tip of your 3rd finger, right? Just touching it, so it doesn't play. Then 2 on the 5th, and then 2 on that chord. And then again you slide down. So you're gonna put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. The 3rd string stays open, but I mute it with the just touching my 3rd finger to it, so you can really isolate those bottom 2 notes on the 1st and 2nd string. You have your 1st finger barring the 1st and 2nd string on the 1st fret, okay? So 3rd finger on the 4th string on the 3rd fret, 1st barring the 1st and 2nd, and the 3rd string stays open, but I just touch it with my 3rd finger because it really isolates. I'll show you right now how we do that. It's like playing 2 different chords almost, 2 different notes it sounds like. So you go the 5th fret twice, and then the next chord, the 5th fret, 4th fret, and 3rd fret with your 3rd, 2nd, and 1st fingers. And then you slide down into that chord. You're muting the 3rd string with your 3rd finger, and you hit just the 4th string with your 3rd finger. You mute it. So the meaty part of your hand is on the string again. So you pick down with the muted 3rd string, and then you pick up on the 1st and 2nd string. So you're muting that 3rd string with your 3rd finger touching it so it doesn't sound, right? Okay. So let's go over that whole part again. So and then you slide back up to the same position we had, except that you take the 2nd finger off and you bar the 3rd fret with the 1st finger this time. So it's 3rd finger on the 4th string on the 5th fret. The 3rd string stays open and you actually do play it this time at first. The 1st finger bars the 3rd fret on the 1st and 2nd string. So it goes, okay? So you play all the strings. You can play just the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. It would still sound good. So play that twice open. And then you put your 2nd finger on the 4th fret, back where it was, on the 3rd string. You're really using this to make the melody or make the sound like the way he sings the song. So, and then you put your pinky on the 5th fret in front of your 2nd finger, so on the 3rd string as well. And and then go back to the second finger. So open, 4th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret. You're using your second finger and your pinky to do that. So you really try to isolate those chords while you're doing the little melody part, right? Just play those few strings there, those 2 strings, right? And then you do it again. So like that. Same notes, just pulling your pinky on and off. So open, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. And then you go down to the A. And when you play this, it's really important that you emphasize the 3rd and 4th string that you have your finger barring for the A power chord, because that's where the change in the sound comes from. When you take the finger off, it changes to a G chord, right? This is down a half a step, so it's not a G, it's a G flat, right? But I'm just going to use the regular terms so you don't get confused with the notes. So it's A, and you just hit those two. You try to just isolate those 2 notes. You can hit the whole chord, but try to really emphasize the 3rd and 4th string, because that's where the change sounds comes from. So, and then you take your finger off and try to just hit the 3rd and 4th string, like that. Okay. And it's like you're just hitting the 3rd and 4th string. And that's the whole thing. So it goes. Then it goes into the verse. So we won't go over the verse riff now. If you do want to learn the rest of the song, you want to know the riff and the rest of the song, let me know, the solo and all. I'll be happy to put it on here. So that's the whole thing. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if anything wasn't clear, let me know, and I'll clear it up, all right? If you have anything else you'd like to see on the channel, let me know. So until next time, happy practicing. Remember to play the stuff you enjoy. Try to balance it between the tedious stuff and the enjoyable stuff, right? So take care until then.